Good morning. Happy Sunday. And we've got a day of football for you. But there's been a through line through all these episodes, which has been this circus in Miami. And I don't know if it's safe to say that the circus is over, but at least one of the clowns is not in the rings anymore. The news coming out of this week, reviewing the past week behind us, is Tyreek Hill experienced something that could probably be a career-ending injury. But I said the same thing when I saw Nick Chubb just get obliterated, and he's still starting.
We also hopefully said the same thing about Deshaun Watson, but he's still creeping around the corners of the Browns
I'm not
facility.
going away anyway.
Dude, he's like creeping around the corners like Freddy Krueger.
He doesn't die. Doesn't die. Like Michael Myers.
Haunts your nightmares.
Yeah, exactly. Falls from a 4-story building, gets a coat hanger to the eye, still exists, still here, still
Now,
fighting.
let me ask you this. Did you have a similar feeling in your gut when you saw this go down?
Here's what I'll say. So we're refraining from showing the actual injury out of respect, but also it was literally gruesome.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about seeing a leg backwards.
Mm-hmm.
It was absurd.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, it was one of those, when you're seeing this like Joker moment of cheering, people are like, get off his back. He's in shock. This man does not look shocked as much as psyched.
This dude's so happy to catch a check and stay on the couch.
And not have to put this jersey on ever again.
Yeah, I don't gotta get Tua's no longer my quarterback, which that's a bit harsh to Tua.
Were you able to speak to Tyreek?
I was. And as you can see on the Jumbotron, he was kind of joking. That's just his personality. So he was joking when I came up and talked to him, and when a lot of the guys came up and talked to him. That's just his personality. That's just who he is. But our thoughts and our prayers are with him.
He's just a jokester.
He's just joking. What was the joke? I don't gotta play with you. I don't gotta play with you. I don't gotta play no more with you.
I know it was a dislocation. He was probably in the best spirits of any player that I've ever. It's such a terrible experience when you go out and see guys. He immediately had wide eyes and was talking. I'm good. Just make sure the guys get this win. We didn't, he was focused on the team.
I didn't see him say that, but thank you, Tony Hinchcliffe.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Checkers laughed as he fell, for he knew that falling meant he had soared.
The good old days.
God,
that's rough.
He's about 10 months away from posting workout videos again, like every other athlete that's got a bad injury.
You know what? Speaking of like that instance, having gone through now a couple medical situations with my parents, it's seeing how long it takes to just get hearing aids or a surgery and here's Tyreek Hill, already had surgery.
So it was like the next day, I think they said.
There's something about their medicine, most expensive. They have some of the highest caliber doctors on contract, literally just waiting for you to turn your shin inside out. And then they're there. And it is, like you said, next day in it, you're getting top-notch medical care, stem cells. This dude will Nick Chubb it in easily 2 years.
Yeah, I hope his kids get the same medical care.
Now, I will say it won't be clean looking. You're going to have like
Alex Smith's knee? Nothing clean about that thing.
Well, fortunately, this isn't as severe as that.
No.
So I do think at best you could see a return in a couple of years, but it's going to be a shell of what you've seen before. But let's also not deny you probably should just start the next chapter of your life because you were already kind of at that point. If it's just age, the league getting younger, quicker, stronger, at some point you're going to age out. You're lying to yourself if you're not admitting you were kind of already there, and you could get to a point where you ride a roster, But is Tyreek an ego that can honestly and quietly do that without distracting the
Dude,
locker room?
Just imagine if he was AJ Brown this year. Like AJ Brown is probably a top 5 receiver, and he hardly gets the ball thrown to him just because that's not how they operate. Tyreek could be losing his mind. They'd be winning a Super Bowl, and he'd be like, "He's just like Tua. He's awful. What is going on here?" For those who don't know, I'm not a Tyreek Hill fan. I did not wish this injury upon him, but I did not bat an eye as like, oh, one of the good ones got hurt. Woe is me. But like, speedy recovery, man. Hope it goes well for you.
Here's the truth. Compare, keep it in contrast with the first game of last season, the way he approaches his brand and the public. It's an ugly brand. There's just the way you promote yourself in the public. It isn't anything that you would want to idolize in your kids. At the same time, the crazy thing about football is everyone in this room played it.
Yeah.
We all know what we signed up for. And you're lying to yourself if you don't go like, that is a symptom of what we're doing here. That is always possible. However, because it's always possible and it's such a fabric to what we're doing, it is one of the worst things you see. And you really want to avoid seeing it, no matter who it is, no matter how ugly the brand is or, the personality. But it is weird. He's so polarizing that he can have that type of like response, right? Where people are like, eh.
Dude, have you gone to his Wikipedia page?
Why?
If you go to his personal life part of his Wikipedia page, it does this thing where they're like, oh, family life, relationships, stuff like that. And that's like that big. And then it'll go right underneath that. There might be this thing called legal issues. And it's like literally half of his full Wikipedia page. So
maybe we should put that on down the
dive deep into what that is or how you should infer that. I'm just saying it is. I don't see that from many other football players.
Maybe we need to play.
Except
right. And that's
company.
A movie star with the Heisman and everything else.
That's what he should do. Forget football. Go to the movie business.
No, he's going to be 1-2 in it with sketch on Twitch for the next 20 years.
Dude, he's going to be racing speed. Dude, you got the rest of your career lined up for you, man. That'll be good. That'll be really good. Yeah.
You're probably right.
Good company.
Good company. Maybe we need to feature him on the next, on our Tuesday show, Down the Wiki Hole. That'd be
oh man. All right, here's where we're gonna start. Oh my god.
Prison. Wife beater, the white t-shirt.
Waitress or waiter.
Yeah. So in other news,
Just jokes.
Who would have thought? The team that's juggling 50 different quarterbacks finally is moving on from old man Jenkins, and we're bringing in Gabriel. The Browns have making waves.
Hey, you wanted this, right? You wanted the real deal. That's what this is. Wake up. You're in the middle of it. You want to run? Go ahead. No one's stopping you. Stop complaining.
This is completely off topic, but Shia LaBeouf absolutely was a perfect crash out in every single one of those movies. Just the best crash outs. But now back to Dylan Gabriel. It is interesting. You went from like you said, old Long Johnson to The Rock's younger brother, the Pebble. That is a fun one.
The Pebble.
Because I got a text from a good buddy of mine, and he sent me a picture of a fire station. And like. It's kind of like, why are you sending that, But when he sends it, he just lists the obvious, right? Like doors are open, garage doors are open, like things are ready to go. And like, they're just waiting on that phone call to like respond surgically. And like, just what a great representation of like the job I had and being ready for that moment. And I think, I smile because it's like a moment you prep for and you are extremely excited for, but also got to realize that it's extreme focus, and that's what I've continued to harp on. But you wait for the perfect time, you're going to wait a whole lifetime. So for me, I've always been ready for every moment.
So a great, exciting new beginning for a young quarterback, rookie. And at the same time, as the media does, they got to turn it into some big circus as normal. And
Cleveland?
Never here. And so, of course, the murmurs are, why aren't you picking Shador? This is all personal. And nobody wants to get excited about a different 22-year-old's first opportunity. And there's a line of professionalism that maybe the skill really isn't there, but this kid matches it. When we had that video of Shedeur this week in the locker room and they're asking him questions and he's just like mouthing it because he's not, it's like, and then you wonder why 32 teams found you too immature to even take a risk on. And then the team that does evaluates you just like they do Kenny Pickett, who isn't on the team, right? So you were up against the wall. You didn't rise to the occasion. So how much of this is just ignorant noise by the media? But maybe there is some credibility to it. There is a hell-bent faction on the fact that this kid Shedeur is a diamond in the rough that continues to get buried. But when I went to the one spring training camp, when practice was over, there was only one person that stayed on that field and continued to run gassers. And it wasn't Shedeur. He had the Twitch camera and he was gone right out into the locker room. But Gabriel stayed. So maybe even if you're outplayed now, the heart, that sells to coaches. That sells to your team. It is crazy, though. He's not the rock. He's the pebble. It's a funny joke because when you see him out there, so dwarfed. We had comments about Baker. This is dwarfed. Mm-hmm. So what are your predictions? What do you expect for Sunday or even just the first showing for this kid?
I mean, leave it in typical Browns fashion to have the kid start his first NFL game in Ireland or London or wherever the hell. Yeah. It's really great that we get this center.
You know what's funny is they did say this is history in the making.
Oh, it's history. Yeah,
because it's the first first rookie debut overseas.
Yeah. Let's give the rookie jet lag and then throw him out there. That sounds awesome.
Probably because they know Flacco getting off the plane is, and they're like, don't wake him up. Just leave it. Just leave
it. Again, it's the Cleveland situation. I hope the kid does well. My expectations are low. Minnesota's got a really good defensive coordinator. They're good. They're the better team. They're the better team. Okay. No, if anybody's out here like, oh, maybe some rookie magic, maybe. Other than that, shut up. Shut up. Here's the problem for Gabriel, and it's not an anti-him thing. I'm at the point where it's like, Jimmy, you made a choice, and I'm firmly now in the camp of Jimmy and Andrew Berry definitely had a say in the Shedeur thing. Play him. Just play him. I want to see. I want to see what everyone talks about. So when he sucks, when he looks bad, I'm not saying he will. He could go out and look good. And when he does, I'm not going to come back on this camera and eat my words because he's supposed to be good. So I will sit here and I'm not saying he sucks, but I'm looking at this team going like, it's probably not good. I wasn't that impressed with what I saw. And if I got to deal with the media, you have the Indians in the playoffs, and now we're talking about a Shedeur pantomiming.
Vocally, anything to say?
You know, this whole conversation keeps coming back to this 5th round pick. And then the media wants, and his defenders, oh, well, why even asking her 3rd round pick or the 3rd string quarterback? You know why we're asking the 3rd string quarterback. Why was he smiling so giddy when the cameras were talking to him? He seems really thrilled about all the attention he's getting. I'm just saying they gave him a layup question. They gave him a layup question. Hey, how do you feel about, you're still 3rd string and they didn't put you in front of Flacco? Hey, you know what? I show up here. I do my work every day. I try to be the best I can for these guys. I'm happy for Dylan. He's worked really hard, work here every day to do this. Make the media look bad trying to put you in a situation to answer bad. Instead, you look like an ass because he probably is an ass and his ass father and then got on Instagram and said, wow, what a great thing. Man, you tell him, son. No wonder you advised him and he dropped to the 5th round. Kid probably doesn't have the talent to be a top 1st round pick. That's fine. Gabriel doesn't either. And I'm not going to sit here and say he does. But you can tell with Gabriel, it's like he's a little bit older than Shedeur. He's like a 6-year kid in college, kind of like Bo Nix was. It's like this is a kid who's played a lot of offenses, played with a lot of different coaches. He knows how to button it up for the cameras and then act out, which he probably doesn't even really do acting out. All I've seen Shedeur have is one decent preseason game against the Carolina Panthers, by the way. We don't really bring that one up, but when he played against the Philadelphia Eagles, 4th and 5th stringers, which they all were 4th and 5th stringers, he kind of looked worked. A little hard, but we don't want to talk about that one too hard. But let's keep talking about how great and fantastic he's going to be. This was a really not so good rookie draft class.
Right.
What? Dylan's going to be the third one to start. Cam Ward and Titans haven't done anything. Good for Jackson Dart getting his win in his first game.
Yeah.
I hope the best for Dylan Gabriel, and I'm going to hope the best for Shedeur. Like at the end of the day, it's like I want the kid to do well. But this little clown show that our owner, and probably Andrew Barry, and the more and longer this goes on, I am more like, okay, it's these two. Because Kevin doesn't look happy about this at all. He doesn't.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up.
Annoyed.
He is furious.
You decided to make Joe the backup and not Shedeur.
Yeah, Joe's the backup.
Was there, along with changing to Dylan, was there any conversation at all about moving Shedeur up to number 2 and making?
Yeah, my focus is on this game. Joe's the backup.
He's annoyed. Again, I'm not the biggest guy on Stefanski. Last night you saw Kyle Shanahan with Mac Jones make it look like they don't even want Brock Purdy back. That's a good football coach. That's an actual offensive genius. I don't know what everybody in Cleveland's been saying outside of the people here and the Buffalo man here as well have been saying about Stefanski is like, yeah, he's okay. And he is. He's okay. But he's what? 3-17 his last 20 games. Oh, okay. Genius. It's just, I'm over it. I do feel for Stefanski in a way because I feel like you have to deal with Barry and Haslam. At the end of the day, as a coach, he doesn't have what it takes. That's fine. We'll go into the next one. But I want to see this circus actually try to entertain at some point in the year. And I feel bad because it's already putting pressure on Gabriel. And I know the pressure is immediately going to be on because we have those two first round picks. They're going to we're most likely picking a kid next year, which if we were actually a smart organization, we pick, I don't know, we do like what the Bengals did with Burrow and Chase, get one of the best quarterbacks, get his best receiver, put him on the same team, but we're the Browns. We're not going to do that. We're not going to probably draft that receiver at all. I feel bad for
Gabriel. No, dude, because Jerry Judy's wide receiver 1.
He is wide receiver 1, and he's very good. He almost has as many drops as he does catches. And I mean, that is a statistic that is up there with the eons of others. But for me, I don't think Gabriel is going to be that impressive, but I don't think this team offensively is that impressive.
Right.
If Dylan Gabriel goes out there, even if we lose and he scores 21 points, just 20 points, I'll be like, yeah, that's great. Because once again, even with Flacco, and I feel bad for Flacco, the Magic didn't show up. Not to toot my own horn. I was on here saying like it's not going to happen, but it didn't happen. It looked like the Deshaun Watson offense from last year. You can't score 20 points in a game. And I blame Stefanski. I am going to put that more on Stefanski now. Stefanski is that bad of a coach to where now I look at Deshaun and be like, he's not as bad as he looked on the field. Maybe, because we can't score 20 points again.
Right.
How did we get back to this all of a sudden? And I'm going to look at the coach. But I don't think Shedeur and I don't think Gabriel are going to fix it. But I want to see that clown get on the field.
Yeah.
I really do. And I don't feel bad calling him that because if you want to act and mime like a clown, that's what I'm going to call you. That's what I'm going to call you. And I don't care. If you want to talk about privilege, in the NFL, that right there was privilege. Lamar Jackson loses to Buffalo man over there as quarterback again this year in the playoffs. Bad game, whatever. He looks bad. The media is going to look right at him and be like, Lamar, you're amazing in the regular season, probably winning your third MVP, maybe winning your third MVP. Do you think this is going to affect your legacy? And Lamar just... Do you think the media is going to be kind to Lamar, the 2-time MVP? He's actually won stuff. He's actually proven his worth of salt on this thing. No, but we get the 5th round quarterback, 3rd string quarterback doing it. And he gets privileged and he gets to get away with it. Why? Who's your daddy? Your daddy gave you that privilege. I don't want to hear no talk otherwise from anybody else. You name any other quarterback in this league. Buffalo man's quarterback did that over there. Big Patty Mahomes has a bad one. Sometimes he gets pretty angry after losses. You're going to mime to the media? What are you? What the hell is wrong with you? That is ridiculous behavior, but only we were smart enough to draft him. We, our scholars, our Ivy League individuals in Berea's facilities felt the need to draft him. Yes. No, that is my rant. Absolute clown behavior.
I want to keep the momentum going while the Will is hot. Pivoting to one last topic, we're talking about this London game. So speaking of the European games, did you see people are upset? It was coming out reported that Aaron Rodgers was performing drunk in Ireland.
Good. Good. I actually like the guy more now.
Ireland didn't have ayahuasca, so he was like, give me a Guinness. I'm going to split the G and then throw a TD.
I'm going to split the G and then split the seam. Ayo. Ayo.
And they had a damn good performance, too. So it's like, shut up.
It was a good game all around.
Yeah, both teams.
Hey, speaking of the other Steelers quarterback, did you hear about him?
What?
The backup quarterback lands in Ireland and gets mugged and robbed.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, wait till it gets to a point where we send one of our teams over there and one of them gets killed. You know what I mean? I don't mean this like jokingly. I mean honestly.
Going over there.
But
exactly. You want to pander to that? And this
brings me to the next point. Why are we doing this? What I understand from a marketing and a global brand tab, but what's it going to take? It's going to take because they don't know these guys. They don't know these guys. This isn't like footballers over there. This is like they will have no idea who this kid is. Gets mugged, robbed, laceration on the face, and he's just probably just going back to the hotel because he's got to get up early and go work.
Absurd.
Yeah.
Absurd. And again, it is not to get lost in any type of political dialogue here, but you're watching a deteriorating society, and now you're trying to capitalize on a westernized market that's 100% like under siege and becoming Eastern again.
Yep.
Like you're trying to capitalize on a Western market that's literally dissolving between your fingers like sand. And you're like, but there's still Europeans here. It's like, not for long.
No, it's too bad when I see that report, but the instant I do, it's like, stop sending teams over there.
Yeah.
Stop sending these guys over there because all it's going to take is one incident like that. And for as dangerous as this country is, you hear about these soccer teams that come over here, and there's never an issue over here.
Well, what's funny is like back to Tyreek Hill. He's getting experiences like this before games as well. And it's police brutality. I mean, they are grabbing him in his $1 million car. Now, he was going 1,000 miles per hour and, flipping people off, but that's neither here nor there. You are persecuted in real danger as an African man in America. And then an African man goes to Europe and was like, whoa, can I go home?
Yeah. It's unreal. This whole like global brand of the NFL thing is so dumb.
It really is. So let's get on to this week now. We're going to do our predictions here on what we can expect. Now, first, quickly reviewing this past week. Will, I got to say, Thursday night's football game was pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah.
49ers and Rams, as we had predicted last week, was going to be a big game for two high caliber teams. The Rams had a record that didn't look like, they could be behind the 49ers, but we had the agreement that of the teams that may already have a loss, they're going to be up there with teams that are tip of the spear. They showed that the 49ers being a 4-1 team, that they belong in this conversation. Overtime, truthfully, 49ers had it, 2 touchdowns to nothing? And I'm like, guess the Rams weren't all that. Yeah, it was real quick. And then it was a slow burn. They kept the 49ers at a slow build, and they caught up. And by the end of it, you're like, oh, my God, we're going into overtime.
Matt Stafford might be the best quarterback in the NFL at the moment.
You think?
He's up there. It's like him and Josh, in my opinion, are like the two best. Matt Stafford is playing out of his mind. For whatever that loss was, it's like, damn. He still has it pretty good.
Well, what's funny too is how many years did he spend in Detroit and didn't do anything over there, and
like
then he
9.
leaves.
Like 9 years. Spent 9 years throwing to Calvin Johnson, just trying to get 7-8 wins.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that was one of the better games I'm anticipating for this week. Now, wake up early. That's it's going on currently as we're talking to you. We've got the Browns, and they're in London against the Vikings. And I could say wholeheartedly, the last game by the Vikings, they didn't look crappy. It was a good game. They lost. However, I do have to go back on what I was saying at the beginning of the season. I think you really are seeing the Vikings. They aren't what they were last
It's
season.
a quarterback situation. It's
Yeah.
really rough.
Well, and you were right to hold out, where it's like, I got to see how this develops. And we're seeing it ain't developing.
It's funny. It's like Carson Wentz has a decent opportunity there because J.J. McCarthy keeps getting hurt. But it is funny the longer and longer this kind of goes on. If you're an offensive player at the University of Michigan and you go to the NFL, you're not that good. Just ask Blake Corum last night. I'm sure he wished he had a fumble or two back.
Probably right. Now, speaking of our predictions for this game, I think you're going to have a close game. The team that should win is the Vikings, but that's where the Browns tend to thrive sometimes. I do think we have an advantage going into this game. And the advantage is we are the shittiest team with the largest backing. And we do have a significant following in Europe, specifically in England. I could anticipate this being very close to like a home game. Just in terms of energy, I'm predicting, I could be very wrong, because the Vikings are that like TJ Maxx flash sale, send all their shit across seas type of team, where there's people that are Vikings fans simply because they got a free jersey handed to them in the desert wherever they're at. So I could see people also being accidental fans of the Vikings.
There's a bunch of people like right there with Vikings shirts and shit on.
Viking Super Bowl shirts.
No, I'm going to go with Minnesota because his team can't score 20 points in a game, and I'm not going to change that answer until they prove me otherwise.
That's fair, but I do think our defense can keep the Vikings at a low score.
Of course. I agree with the defensive point. My thing, though, is like it depends on how well prepared they are for a new quarterback that they have. They have
no film on, yeah.
It's like Jackson Dart last week against the Chargers. It's like he hasn't played. I don't really know what the scheme against his strengths or weaknesses. Just kind of do a base defense against him.
Also, most of Vikings offensive line is out. Like they're on a
that's
third string.
That's a Miles recipe.
Backups everywhere else. Their center never played a snap in the NFL.
Feed Myles Garrett.
So
he really is having a good year.
He is.
It is a damn shame. We're gonna
$250 million tends to do that to a man.
Hey, at least we spent that much money and it actually worked out.
Well, we haven't gotten the massage bill yet because we're looking at female massage parlors. Once we change where we're investigating, we might find something, but we're not looking under those rocks yet.
On to the 1 o'clock games.
1 o'clock games are here. Texans and Ravens. I think CJ Stroud has a sophomore, junior, senior quit school slump, and I don't think the Texans are going to get their feet under them, and the Ravens will humble them quickly with that.
Who would have thought Baltimore be
1-3? Dude, they had a hard front half of their schedule.
Yeah, they did.
And it shows right there because that shit does not reflect their skill level.
I'll go with Baltimore, too.
Is Lamar out?
Honestly, I believe he is.
Yeah, he is.
But
that's what I thought.
Truthfully, I don't think it matters. I genuinely don't.
Backup? It could have been Shedeur Sanders. Apparently, they wanted him to draft him in like the 5th, but he was too smart and said, I want to play on a team I'll play on.
So Lamar Jackson has his injury. He's going to be missing practice again. So it's still not clear. You know, we're recording this Friday evening.
Wait, never mind. 5 hours ago, ruled out versus Texans.
Oh, okay. So
Cooper Rush. That's who it is.
Oh, Cooper Rush is going to ball out. Cooper Rush is known to ball out in games like this. I honestly think Cooper Rush is going to ball out.
And again, the tee is set up for him. He's just got to walk up and crush a home run. I don't expect anything from the Texans.
No.
All right, looking at the Dolphins. Panthers look like you got a strong week ahead of you. Who would have thought we'd be here?
What an absolute shit game.
Yeah. As well as saying, just stinky. That's your stinker. It's a 1 o'clock game, so you're going to have them.
You want to know what I am enjoying, though? The NFL is getting like more we're flexing that game and we're demoting that game. Good. Like, thank God, good. Like, please start doing that.
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Miami.
Really? I'm picking the Panthers.
You want to know why? Because I finally feel like the ulcer got removed. And now they're gonna be better. This is an anti-Tyreek Hill podcast, folks.
You know what? I'm trying to keep us grounded in empathy. But the reality is there's too much weight to that, where I do think they walk in that locker room Sunday morning and feel the difference. You've been in those locker rooms.
Yes.
You've personally experienced where the addition or the removal of literally one person changes that entire environment, and there's no way he's so loud, so just attention seeking. It's like a beam of light just gone.
Notice when Odell Beckham Jr. tore his ACL, and then we went on a run and made the playoffs.
You know what's hilarious? You say that. That is literally the person I had in my head, because that's what we experienced for the Browns.
Yeah.
One guy changed the entire locker room. So, yeah, you know what? I'm still going with the Panthers, because I just think, now you've really convinced me. Because it's not like they're doing better with Tyreek. So it's maybe like Tua just comes in so much more relaxed. Like, I'm going to throw to anybody.
Tua comes in and he doesn't flinch when he comes back in the hollow. I was open. Sorry, man. Sorry. Next route.
You're so right. You're kind of convincing me. All right. Raiders and Colts. This is the Colts.
Indiana Jones is going to ball all over. Vegas, so I'm going with Danny Dimes
for sure. All right, Giants Saints. This is the Giants game to lose.
Jackson Dart is going to ball all over them.
Who would have thought the Saints were going to have a first-round draft pick this year? I mean,
the Saints. The Saints did. The Saints are like putting Spencer Rattler out there because our guy's in ethics class right now.
All right, Jets Cowboys.
It's
stinky, but I think the Cowboys are definitely the better team. Like to end this past week in a tie, crazy game.
40-40.
Damn good game.
By the way,
damn good game.
I'll give you that one. I'll go with Dallas.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys got that. But again, you know what? I got to say, as we made a mockery of Monday Night Football last week, you were like, wow, two crappy games. Bengals, crappy. This Jets game, though, I do got to say, it was entertaining.
Justin Fields is entertaining.
Yeah.
For as bad as the team is, it's like he's going to be running all around. He's going to be throwing the football, maybe to you, maybe to them, but he's throwing it.
I agree. All right. Looking at the Broncos, Eagles. I mean, Eagles are going to continue their momentum. I very much believe that. But the Broncos have shown that, they're gonna hang on the coattails of the postseason. And I think you're going to see that in this game. They're going to show up, but the Eagles are going to take the victory.
Nick Sirianni has somehow turned an NFL program in the Mount Union, so they're going to win. I have no idea how he actually did that, but he kind of did that. There's kind of chaos a little bit everywhere. People are kind of acting out a little bit. There's just like the one guy is kind of keeping it together, and the coach is kind of a hothead at times because he's going to let you know you're doing really bad at what you're doing. And they'll be 5-0.
Yeah.
They'll be 5-0.
All right, let's get to our 4:00 games. I think the Cardinals are going to dominate this next game against the Titans. I don't see really anything to talk beyond that. I'm shocked this wasn't one of the switch games. You should totally have switched this with the Broncos and the Eagles, in my opinion.
First round pick, number 1 pick, Cam Ward.
Fair.
That's why.
Fair. Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have looked to have done that, but that's why.
So, but again,
because Tampa Bay's game was flexed with a team and 1:00. I know.
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah.
Well, let's agree. This is going to be one of the better games of the day.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Seattle though. Tampa Bay's really beat up. They
really are.
They got like 17 guys on
these last 2 games. You've been really seeing that effect where and again they're hobbling, but this isn't going to be easy for the Seahawks. So kind of piggybacking off the dialogue we were having last week, I do still hold the Seahawks up there as maybe not the undefeated team, but top of the heap type of team. And this is their opportunity to further prove that. But the Buccaneers are not going to make it easy for them.
Yeah, you got 2 playoff teams right there playing.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. Lions, Bengals.
Lions are going to neuter the Bengals.
I completely agree. Can I also here's what I say. Lions are winning no matter what. But what's so weird about these two teams in specific, but even a lot like the Lions, the way they've been playing this year, I could see a afternoon game where they keep the Bengals in this thing. They're still going to win. I still, my point is they're winning, but you might have a better game here, and you shouldn't, because the Bengals roster is not a team that should be even competing with the likes of the Lions. But I think you might see it.
You got a team with Jake Browning at quarterback. I think it's going to be a rough afternoon for him. Dude, I looked at the line. Actually, I was curious before this game. And it's like the Lions are like 10.5 point favorite or something like that. Like they're like, oh yeah, a touchdown, a field goal, and something else.
You don't like when I talk this way, but that just tells me even more of an incentive for Las Vegas to go, hey, give them a couple extra points. Yeah, hey, give them 2 more points. And safety! What last of the 4:00 games? This, I think, will be awesome. You've been dogging the Commanders quite a bit. I think the Chargers are definitely going to take the victory. They're certainly the better team of these two, but I think the Commanders are going to make it a darn good game for our afternoon.
I think the Chargers will. I think they're going to have a lead and kind of comfortably sit on it. I'm not thinking a blowout, but you could definitely see James not in a sophomore slump, but what they definitely did was they looked at the film of him last year. And they were like, okay, this is
what we got to do.
Yep. Against this kid.
Yeah. They've definitely figured it out.
But they're definitely like making it kind of the electric plays aren't quite as occurring.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Looking at our evening game here, Bills, Patriots.
Bills.
Yeah.
Next.
I mean, why'd we just give the Bills a bye on Sunday Night Football? That's beyond me.
I mean, they really went from Tom Brady spanking them for like 20 years to now Josh is going to spank the Patriots for like 15 years.
Yeah, seriously.
It really was like a even trade, even equivalent exchange. Equivalent exchange right there.
4 teams on bye? That's pretty crazy. All right, our Monday Night Football game, Jags and Chiefs. I am so let me be very clear how absolutely heartbroken I am that we had our draft. It gave us the Jaguars' first round draft pick. Since that day, fully internalized, this is a good year. The Browns are not going to do a damn thing. They will ruin every Sunday of my existence for this season. However, the Jags suck. Quarterback hasn't cut his hair. So now we're going to have the greatest first round draft pick ever. That has what's been getting me through. To log in every week to see them be a team I never thought they could be. It's breaking me. And my hot take, I see them beating the Chiefs just because I don't want them to win.
Actually,
and the universe hates me.
I'm going against you. And you want to know why? Because the Kansas City Queefs tight end's fiance just released an album today, and by God, they are not losing on a Monday.
She's going to Jacksonville.
She's not going to Jacksonville. Absolutely not. She's going to be like, that's an awful city. That's an awful city. I'm not going there.
I've never stepped foot in Florida ever, except to go to Mar-a-Lago.
That's why I'm going with the Chiefs, and I give Pat credit. Last week he balled out. He looked like how Pat.
He did. He did.
And
I'm seeing an opportunity for an upset, but the Chiefs should be the better team. And I'm rooting for the Chiefs because I'm rooting for our draft pick. But because of that, I could see them totally tanking.
Nah, she released her album. They're gonna win. There's no way.
That maths.
There's no way.
I gotta hand it to you. All right, so let's get to the favorite part of our episode where we try to make you money. Now, I did my due diligence. Doug, if you recall last week, he was sick, so he owes us an ice. Doug also did his. We all delivered on our parlay picks, except Wilbur over here.
Dude, my guy was like 3 yards short.
Yeah, dude.
And he had over 100 yards receiving, too.
Absolute shit.
I quite literally sat there at my phone the whole time, just like 3 more yards. 3 minutes. No.
Dude,
Doug, why don't you come on over here so we can get you both in one frame? Click on over to Will. And, you guys can do a race for me this time since I had to do it for.
I'm going to lose, but that's fine. I just know I'm going to lose. Oh, I got to stand.
Yeah, good call.
I have to stand.
Doug's putting it back. Good job, Dougie. Cheers. So their punishment, they have to drink the ice because we have to be incentivized to try to make you money.
Will's having a tough time. I'm gonna go around.
It is the worst part.
I was so good at this last year, and now
No, Will, you were never good at it. It's okay.
I had like an 8-week stretch last year. I didn't lose.
Oh, no,
Bad juju on you.
Yeah.
You're so screwed.
I thought you meant you were good at
he's
chugging
never
ice.
been good at chugging ices. He's saying he was good at picking
See, I
parlays.
thought you meant chugging ice.
I was like, piss on this. I was a dog last year.
So, like I said, the incentive here is to make you money. So, you want to get in on our parlay pick of the week this week, so you could get in on our money making opportunities here. You know, Doug tries to say he strays away from the 4:00 games because he wants to know if he's won as soon as possible. But we got 2 in the 4:00 games. Doug is going for 60 plus yards with Jamar Gibbs, and Will is going 240 plus yards, Jared Goff. And I'm going to go with 60 plus receiving yards by Trey McBride with the Cardinals. So hop in on this. $5 gets you $27, $27.25. Come on, get in on this because we're trying to make you money. So log in next week to see if hopefully we just made you money, but somebody might be a loser here and they're going to have to chug for your entertainment.
If I have to do that again, I'm going to throw up.
It is the worst. I was really hoping Doug was going to lose, so we had to watch him drink 2 today.
You want to know what it is? It's like the coating of sugar in your mouth. It's not necessarily the taste. It's like my whole mouth is just sugar.
No, that's a great point. Well, it tastes just like a Sprite. You know, I love the taste, but it's just overly sugar.
Well, and it sits in you because your body's like, this is manufactured. This isn't pure. This is, you put foreign substance in
Impure soul.
Exactly. So we appreciate you guys waking up and starting your Sunday with us. Be sure to get your last tinkers in on your fantasy football team. I hope you enjoy this beautiful Sunday. If we made you laugh, if we made you think, if you enjoyed this wake up to your Sunday, be sure to hit the like button and dangle that notification bell and everything else so you can catch us here each week. But otherwise, guys, we appreciate you joining us. You can find all of the Rethink Tank content in one central place, and that's at our website at www.rethinktankpodcast.com. But otherwise, we'll catch you next week. Peace.